Tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to integrate a magic link to your Webflow website. So without further ado, I'll introduce Cotter. So Cotter is a one-tap passwordless login for either your mobile or web app, and they do support magic links, one-time passwords, device-based authentication, and WebAuthn. So without further ado, for today's demo, I'm going to show you what it's going to look like to add a magic link to your Webflow app. So the first step that you have to do is actually press this button over here called Dashboard, and make a new Cotter account. So I'm going to use my existing one, and since I am logged in here, there's no passwords needed. All I need to do is just tap sign in. And bear in mind that all this form right here is customizable to you. So let me go ahead and click on that. So the most important part for the next step is to actually create a new project. However, for this demo, I am going to use Albert's app. Right? Go ahead and grab your API key, copy paste it somewhere, and this will be useful later on. So yeah, that's it for the introduction. We're going to set up our Webflow example website. Here, I have created two pages. The first page is a home page, and the second page is a protected page. We are going to be loading the Cotter login form for the magic link on the home page, and then we would have a protected page which can only be accessed by users who are logged in. Let's delve in more with what I have put in the home page and how to set it up to load Cotter's login form. So as you can see here, we have a sticky nav bar. That's just a layout that Webflow has provided. Very neat. I put the logo there, and yeah, just a container that contains a nav grid that has the protected link and also the sign in button. And we also have a container that contains a header that says login to test app, and then a section which we will be loading the Cotter form into. So when I click on this section, keep in mind that you have to set the ID to Cotter-form-container. This is how we will be able to load the Cotter login form. For the protected page, we have the same sticky nav bar up top. We have the same container, the same nav grid with the same logo, protected, and a sign out button. Now on this container form, we do have a header that will say welcome and your user's email. And then just a paragraph saying that this is a protected page, so only a logged in user will be able to view this page. So that's about it for the setup of the Webflow example website. The website setup, all you need to do is to start adding custom code. You can do so by clicking on this pages icon right here and go to settings for home. Right? Scroll all the way down and you can start adding custom code right here. Do keep in mind that you need the most basic Webflow plan for hosting to be able to add custom code. So we're going to be doing two things. The first thing that we're going to do is actually to add the Cotter JavaScript SDK, and we can do so by copy pasting the code right here. Once we're done, the second thing that we need to do is to initialize Cotter. We will initialize Cotter by simply copy pasting this code right here. Now, what we need to do is to copy paste our API key when initializing Cotter. We're going to do it by heading back to our dashboard, head back to our project called Albert's app, copy the API key, and paste it right here, and we should be good to go. Now, we have chosen for the purposes of this tutorial to authenticate users using a magic link. This function right here specifies exactly that. Sign in with link. Now, the method of delivery that we have chosen is sending the magic link via email. Therefore, we will be showing the email form using this function right here. Now, this could be interchanged with these two functions below. You could either sign in with link or with OTP, which is a one-time password. And the method of delivery could either be an email or it could also be via text or WhatsApp using the show phone form. Now, since we don't need this, we'll go ahead and delete all of that. Now, once the user is logged in, we will be loading a payload that contains their OAuth token and also their ID token. Once that is done, we would save the OAuth token in local storage, and we would redirect the user to the protected page. We're going to do so here. This part of the code allows you to handle errors, and even if you leave it blank, it'll work. But if the user enters an invalid email, you could choose to handle the error however you want, using a text or sending them to a different page. But yeah, that's about it. So now when you're done, just click on save. Just click on save. Click on publish. And you will be able to see this form right here. That's where your users are going to enter their email. Once they enter their email, they're going to be able to sign in using a magic link. Now, let's head over to our protected page and also add a custom code right there. We do the exact same thing. Click on the page's icon, go to settings for the protected page, and scroll all the way down and add code on the head tag right here. So let's just copy and paste this code right here, and I'll walk you through it. So on a protected page, when it gets loaded, we are going to check if there is a user that is logged in, which leads to this logic right here. If there is a user that's logged in, then we allow this page to be loaded. If there's not a user logged in, then we would redirect the user back to the home page. And for the purposes of this tutorial, we would also want to fetch the email from the user's OAuth token and display it on this page right here, and that's what this part of the code does. Now, if the data is loaded unsuccessfully, then we would also redirect the user to the home page and ask him or her to sign in again. Now, once we're done with the head tag, we're going to also add custom code into the body tag. We're going to do so by copy pasting the code right here. And the function of this code right here is to actually parse the user's email and allows us to display it on the heading right here. So we're going to say welcome. This is how we're going to get the user's email, and also add functionality for sign out right here. When the user clicks sign out, we would then remove the user's session from the local storage. Once that is done, click on save, go to publish. You're all set. I've loaded the complete example website, and this is what it's going to look like on the home page. We're going to ask the user to log in, and this is where we have loaded the Cotter email form. So once your user fills this text field with their email, and they click sign in, we are going to be sending them a magic link. So if they have never had an account with you before, we would go ahead and generate a new account for them. If they do, then we'll just send a magic link. So we only ever send the magic link once in the beginning to verify that the user is in control of that email. So for subsequent logins, the user does not need to open their email anymore. They'll just immediately get logged in if they are from the same browser. So I'll tap sign in, and I should be receiving an email just about now. This is the email that I have received from Albert's app, and I'll click on yes, that is me. Once I click on the yes, that's me button, I will be logged into Albert's app. Now I'm logged in to the protected page, and I've successfully fetched the user data, parsed it, and displayed my email right on the protected page. Now, when I sign out, I will no longer have access to the protected page, and I would have to log in again. But as I've mentioned before, for subsequent logins, there are no passwords required for all of the users. All they need to do is simply enter the email that I've registered or signed in with before. As long as they're using the same device or browser, then they get logged in instantly without the need of passwords. So that's it. That's how Magic Link works with Cotter on a Webflow website. Thanks, y'all.